Destruction of Complex AD-79 Scholastic by Lauren Parsons. People scared. Oh, this sucks. Creature makes it rises.
Alright guys, I need you to listen again. On scope. Going to be coming around with our hot water and our clear cups. If your eyes aren't on me, you're not listening. So I'm going to start keeping a track of my mind. And if you're not listening, I'm just not going to give you material. Because again, this could not be safe if you don't listen. So if you're just choosing right now to look at your papers,
So we need to put this away.
for some reason, you haven't looked at the papers this whole time, and then all of a sudden I ask you to look at me and you start looking at your papers. Then I'll just skip over you, and you won't get your experiment. When it comes, hot water, immediately we're going to put a clear plastic cup on it. Just leave it at that. And then we'll get cold water bottles on top. And we're going to leave them for a few minutes. And then we'll start our science 3. We'll leave them for a few minutes, let them start to get some droplets. You can watch it as it's going, but just make sure you don't touch it. Didn't boil, it comes from our
watch this like this?
water dispensers, have a hot water option for tea and stuff.
Grandmother have one?
Miss Jones, can you follow me and put this on there once they get their hot water? Sure.
I was hoping it was like 100 like that.
I think you can get a used one like that though.
How much will a used one cost?
I don't know, you have to look it up on the internet when you get home.
Well, I do have a comic book that is worth anywhere from $80 to $300. What?
Hold on to it till you get older. You have to go to college, you need money, right?
Actually, oh, I could put it in a savings account.
Yeah, then it gets some interest. It makes sense.
My parents.
You gotta put the book away.
No, he said he could.
Now we could get something else.
My parents.
Take it out. You can take the book away now.
My parents always told me I should make a savings account with that.
Lanista.
Lanista?
Yeah, well, I
Oh,
don't know.
Lanista.
I don't know. I've never heard of that word.
It is back from AD 979.
So, next is cold water bottles. We're going to try to dry them as much as we can before we plop them on there. Then we'll give it a couple minutes to
Is this cool? Don't touch it though.
This is
start forming, and then we'll do our next step.
Good, I like it too.
I can already see like the
Remember, do not
frost
touch it.
going all over it. You know, like when you're in the mirror and like.
Or how about when you go and store the frozen food department?
Oh yeah,
And you can't, sometimes you can't even see the.
I always write my messages.
Yeah.
I want to write something on there, but I Gladiators the snake slithered, the horses screeched and reared up, tossing their riders to the ground. Marcus ran to Kevin, who stared at him. That's what Marcus said, crossing off his shoulder.
Now,
Amazement
careful,
sabotaged.
guys, careful not to touch your
Grabs my-
setups or your desks. These cups were not designed for water bottles to sit on top of them, so it's a little bit of a delicate balance. If you knock it off, it'll mess up your experiment, so you might just have to take a look at somebody else's. So just be careful, try not to knock it off. Yes, Ken? I can't hear you.
One of her ears looks like how to grab the reins and soothe the horse while the monk comes down, hold on tight. Marcus Gallo, he shot forward and speed them down. Marcus going to
All right. I need voice stop. Let's put our flex activities away. Mr. Esky, get lights on. The lights are going to come on. That's going to help you see better once we're ready for this. I'm going to set a timer.
I can see water dripping off of the bottle itself.
I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes. Give you 1 extra minute for our water droplets to form. We're going to go over just a couple of things. It is 12:15, so this is probably going to bring us close to recess. There's a 7-minute wrap up when we're done. That'll probably bring us right around to recess. Yeah. So, yeah. I shouldn't have all this goofing around. Yeah. It's not supposed to. The clouds are probably covering the sun. It's not supposed to rain until tomorrow, so we will be able to go outside. It might be humid, it might be uncomfortable, so don't run too much.
It rained yesterday.
Yeah, but it's going to rain again, so the humidity's still around. So, Jaden, I gave you that warning. If I see you do it again, I'll just take that whole thing and I'll throw it out.
Fine.
So, we will have homework today. There's also a couple things that are going home, 5th graders. There's something extra important that's going home about your end of year ceremony stuff. That's in an envelope. Make sure you bring it home and make sure people read the whole thing. It's got a whole lot of information in there. It's like your end of year wrap up document. So make sure, I have a thing set to send your parents to let them know that it's in there, but make sure that goes home. Recess today is out in the field. We'll come in, roll over point, get ready for our earn time. Again, our goal is to get some multi-digit multiplication in. I have plans for both 4th and 5th grade, and then to start the iReady diagnostic next Thursday. So we might be skipping through reading a little bit quicker. We might be doing only Math 1 and Math 2 when we have those times in the afternoon, because we want to get that done and get ready, and then we can make up some reading time after that. That's right. Now tonight's the addition I was going to give you yesterday, which is going to be helpful because it's those 4 numbers you got to add, which you do have to do for your. I think it's only 2 digits to start with. But it's 4 numbers like you will have to do for your area model. So, 8 seconds left and I'll give you your next direction. We've got to do our last step here. If you really have to go, yes, but then you're going to miss out on this last step. So, carefully. One person making a bad decision isn't open season to do whatever you want. Turn around, face forward like I have. Carefully take the blue water bottle off your set. Now, the last step to quote unquote make rain. Usually after a couple seconds, those water droplets will form together. Take that off. Take it off. And what you want to do, get into a position where you can see it clearly, hold it, and give it a couple taps. What you'll see, those droplets start to form together on the top, and you may or may not be able to make them fall down. Gotta tap a little harder. Try using your thumb to tap. You can get a little bit more. But you'll see. So they'll start to form together and maybe drop. But what this is showing is this is how rain forms in a cloud. Those water droplets start down below. The water droplets raise from the ocean. They hit the cold sky, form those clouds. And once enough of that water is in those clouds, actually on me, that water groups together and falls. It's too heavy at that point. Once it's grouped together, it's too heavy, just like on your cup, and it falls down. Now, one other important thing to note here. Your water droplets, are they red?
No.
No. Well, you're but before you tapped it, was anything red? No. But your water's red. So what happened there? Same thing that happens when the water evaporates off the ocean. That's why if you're near the beach and it's raining, it's not raining salt water. Only water evaporates. It leaves everything else behind it. So this red water here, the water is evaporating, but that food dye is staying in there. So if we were to let this cup here evaporate, I don't know if it would ever evaporate fully in our classroom, but if you were to let this evaporate, as it's going down, it's going to slowly start getting redder and redder. So it's going to have the same amount of red dye, but less water. Because only the water evaporates. Our oceans, when they evaporate, only the water evaporates. The salt stays where it is. The salt stays in the ocean. So that's why when it rains, it's fresh water, even if you're out in the middle of the ocean. Which is how that fisherman, Jose, was able to survive from rainwater in the ocean. It's not salt water that rains, it's just regular water.
That's why you never find fresh water ocean, because the fresh water that rains is.
But isn't there like some edible?
So the fresh water that rains mixes in with the ocean.
Oh.
But the water that evaporates out is just water. The salt is left behind. Just like the water here is just water, it's not red anymore. It's just the water will evaporate. Everything else is left behind. Which is why, typically, like we said in my class, we always say we only want water at your desk. Because if you spill, say, iced tea, the water will evaporate out of a carpet. But everything else that's in iced tea is going to stay in the carpet. Sugars and glucose and high fructose corn syrup, it's all going to stay in the carpet.
So basically, since all the water evaporates from the desk, is that why, since this thing is soaking wet, it's just clear on the outside?
That's a little different because that's condensation. So the water that's forming here is forming from the air in our class. Nothing's coming out of this water bottle. Yeah, the water bottle is watertight, obviously.
I woke up and my stomach was hurting.
No, you can't drink these. I mean, food coloring is not bad for you, but no. Brian? That's fine. That's why the cup's there. I mean, that's why the plate's there. They'll probably still worry about it. So, fill in your Science 3 section, please. So, fill in your Science 3 section.
Are we going outside?
Add in recess. Yes, Brian. We just did the wrap up now. That's what the video is. So, while you're at recess, I'm going to fill in my portion of the Science 3. And I'm going to clean up.
I did that too.
Okay. Brian, come on. Miss Carter, make sure you grab the ball. Carter,
Can I grab the soccer ball?
We're going.
turn.
Stop!
Jade and Ed, you need to stay here too?
No, fine.
Because someone's asking you to stop doing something and you keep doing
Fine.
it over and over
Fine,
again.
fine.
Stop it!
Why, does that make a difference if you say stop it? Really?
Silence, silence.
It's okay, let's
Just ignore. He'll stop once we leave.
Right, he goes louder when you say stop.
Mic
Good,
on?
get
I
loud.
would just,
That's Alex, you can stay here with me.
she's not stopping, obviously.
Let's Strauss, you can leave them out.
Nice mode.
No, he's got it.
Yeah,